You're at a summer barbecue. The sun is shining, the food is great, and you are currently slapping yourself silly doing the mosquito dance. Every inch of exposed skin is an open buffet for the local insect population. But right across the patio, one of your friends is perfectly still. They aren't swatting, they aren't scratching, they are completely untouched by the swarm around them. They aren't coated in heavy bug spray. They have a biological blind spot hardwired into their DNA that actively hides them from mosquitoes. This cross-section illustrates exactly how it works. A normal human skin pore constantly emits chemical signal waves that alert mosquitoes to a nearby meal. But a person with a mutation in the ABCC11 gene has a pore that emits absolutely nothing. The signal is entirely cut off, making them invisible to the bugs. That same genetic mutation handles another daily annoyance. Normal apocrine glands produce a protein-rich sweat that feeds skin bacteria. The byproduct of those bacteria eating is body odor. By cutting off that specific sweat supply, the bacteria starve. No food means no bacteria, and no bacteria means zero body odor. The easiest way to know if you carry this exact mutation involves a highly specific, bizarre physical trait. Look at your earwax. If it is dry and crumbly instead of wet, you belong to the no-odor, mosquito-free club. You walk outside in the summer heat, insects ignore you, and you never need to apply deodorant. The daily physical miseries we assume are universal human experiences are entirely optional if you have the right DNA. For most of us, sleep is a rigid master. We rely on heavy doses of caffeine to push through the afternoon slump, constantly trying to recover from a chronic cycle of sleep deprivation. This side-by-side battery visualization compares a standard human recovery cycle against someone with the DEC2 mutation. The standard brain slowly charges over a full 8 hours. The mutated brain hits maximum capacity in half the time, without the cognitive fog or physical fatigue that usually follows a short night. That creates a massive mechanical advantage in a person's lifespan. By requiring only 4 to 6 hours of sleep, these individuals gain extra, fully functional hours every single day. While the rest of the world is unconscious, they are working, reading, and reorganizing their lives with total clarity. You cannot replicate this with an alarm clock. When ordinary humans force a 4-hour sleep schedule, they accumulate sleep debt that severely degrades their cardiovascular and neurological health over time. We frame productivity as a matter of pure willpower, but maximum efficiency sometimes has nothing to do with discipline. The ultimate time hack is written directly into the genetic code. You trip on a curb, take a sudden fall onto hard concrete, and brace for the inevitable sound of a fracturing wrist. That impact easily snaps a standard human bone, but an individual with an LRP5 mutation walks away without a scratch. This genetic anomaly causes hypercalcification, rapidly multiplying bone density until the skeleton behaves more like reinforced concrete than biological tissue. Looking at this split-screen X-ray, the clinical reality becomes obvious. A typical skeleton appears translucent to medical imaging. The mutated skeleton blocks the scan entirely, appearing as solid steel rods. It makes standard surgical procedures incredibly difficult, and even routine dental drilling requires specialized equipment. We spend our lives trying to protect ourselves from physical damage, but witnessing a skeleton this dense reveals that our standard structure prioritizes flexibility and weight over raw, immovable strength. Imagine walking through a freezing winter festival in a t-shirt, completely unfazed by the sub-zero wind chill, while everyone else shivers in heavy coats. This neural pathway graphic illustrates the mechanics of CIPA. Normally, an environmental warning signal travels up the nerve to the brain. Under CIPA, that pathway hits a complete dead end. The nervous system's ability to communicate pain is entirely severed. Slice a finger, no reaction. Take a massive knee impact, nothing. Hand on a stove, zero response. Because the temperature sensors are offline, the body also forgets how to sweat. The internal temperature gauge quickly spikes into the red zone during a mild workout. The natural cooling system stays shut off, allowing the organs to overheat while the brain remains completely unaware. A life without pain seems like the ultimate upgrade. The reality is that pain serves as a mandatory biological check engine light. Disabling the alarms turns the human body into a lethal liability. When a certain type of person walks into a blood donation center, the entire atmosphere shifts. Staff members immediately recognize they are handling something incredibly rare. This node map shows the power of the Rh null mutation, commonly known as golden blood. Because it lacks all typical Rh antigens, this blood is compatible with almost any patient on the Rh spectrum. It provides a life-saving match for individuals with rare profiles who would otherwise reject common donors. But the map works entirely differently in reverse. When a person with golden blood needs a transfusion themselves, they instantly reject any blood outside their specific mutation. They can only receive donations from the roughly 50 known people sharing their exact genetic code. They provide a critical resource for patients who would otherwise have no safe donor options, all while living under the constant existential threat of an empty blood bank if they ever need help themselves. We constantly fight against the limits of our biology. We try to sleep less, banish body odor, and outsmart our environment. Yet the people born with these exact biological cheat codes pay heavy biological taxes in exchange. Our ordinary, deeply flawed bodies might actually be the most brilliantly balanced system for keeping us alive, exactly as they